Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to talk about a handful of different buyout candidates for the Los Angeles Lakers to target. Now, personally, I really think that this current lineup, I don't think it's going to get the job done. Now, I do think that the Lakers will improve. I think they'll have an actually very successful second half. I think Russell Westbrook and LeBron James, I think that they're going to start to connect and just absolutely go off, to be honest with you. But I have a lot of issues with the bench. I got a lot of issues with the bench. A lot of the veterans that the Lakers picked up in this offseason coming off of the bench, they're just not doing good enough. Then you have guys like Talen Horton-Tucker who are returning from the team, and they're just not getting the job done either. And I'm looking at guys like DeAndre Jordan, Kent Bazemore. There was a lot of hope in the air with both of those two players and a lot of these older veterans when they came onto the Lakers. So welcome back to the channel, man. Today we have a Lakers video. Obviously post daily Lakers content on this channel. If that's something that interests you, hit the like button, hit that sub button. We hit 500 subs on this channel, so thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to cover the rest of this season and cover the off season with you guys. So the first player we're going to talk about here is Gary Harris. Now, I don't know if he's actually going to get bought out by Orlando, because the whole thing is Orlando's clearly rebuilding, but they don't have they're still kind of like depleted, if that makes sense. Like Jonathan Isaac, Markelle Fultz, both of those two players haven't played this season. So a lot of their younger players, even guys that they just traded for like Bol, I don't think that they're going to play much. I really don't think that they're going to play much. So Gary Harris, on the last year of his contract, putting up about 11 points per game. He's shooting about 38% from downtown. That's really the big reason I want to see him on the Lake Show, is because defensively, Gary Harris throughout his entire NBA career has been extremely solid. And I think going to Orlando in the last couple of years has really kind of derailed the face value of him. Because when he was over in Denver, this was a guy who had a very promising career. At the very least, a very promising, kind of less prominent starting role, because offensively he's never really been like an automatic bucket, but defensively he's always been a relative clamp. So you go ahead, you get Gary Harris. He's going to provide great defense for you. This is a guy I would actually want to see in the starting lineup for the rest of the season, unless the Lakers want to continue in the Stanley Johnson path. But I have a feeling once Stanley Johnson fizzles out, having a player like Gary Harris come into the starting lineup, I think that would do wonders for him. 38%, and he's going to play defense. I would take that in a heartbeat. Now, the second dude is Eric Bledsoe, and this one's a little bit more complicated because Portland actually has yet to lose a basketball game ever since they've traded away CJ and Norman Powell. And so it looks fully like Portland is trying to just surround the best talent around Damian Lillard in this next offseason and just kind of try for maybe one last desperation push. And having a guy like Eric Bledsoe, who, you know, he's still kind of he's still in the prime of his career. He plays great defense. He can shoot a little bit. He's a playmaker. He's going to help you facilitate the offense. He's a veteran. He's been on championship contending teams. Having a guy like Eric Bledsoe, you can't really put a price tag on it. The thing is, Eric Bledsoe's contract isn't that ideal. So I don't know if Portland's really looking to continue to move on with him to continue to move with him because of that contract, where it might just halter what they're able to do in free agency this season. But once again, just like Gary Harris, if I'm being real, I would put the chances that both of those two guys are bought out as relatively low. But Eric Bledsoe, all the reasons I just mentioned, he would really be able to help out your team. And this is a guy who you might actually be able to throw into your closing lineups, but at the very least, coming off of the bench, he's going to provide you with exactly what you need. When Kendrick Nunn comes back, maybe you put him at the 2 position. I understand Malik Monk's been balling his ass off, so I do understand why you wouldn't want to take him out of the starting lineup for either Gary Harris or Eric Bledsoe. But Eric Bledsoe coming off of the bench, you have Kendrick Nunn. You kind of got a 1-2 little punch right there. Kendrick hopefully is going to come in here and just be like a refreshing role player for the Lakers, because this is a guy who in his first 2 NBA seasons dropped 15 points per game, or right around 15 points per game. So I think personally, I think it would do a lot. Now, The last guy is Dennis Schroeder, and this guy I highly, in fact, I would go as far to say as I don't think he'll get bought out, because yesterday Rafael Stone appeared to like just have full faith in Dennis Schroeder, and then earlier today Schroeder was interviewed, and here's what he said. And keep in mind, he's about to be an unrestricted free agent. We can create something here this season, of course, but for the future as well. So he just sounds like he actually really likes Houston, and he wants to be a part of their future moving forward. I can't blame him, man. Houston is kind of desperately looking for a guy who is looking to kind of fully come into their own shoes, like fully come into their full basketball self. And Dennis Schroeder entering his prime, like Houston might be a good spot for him. So out of those three players, I think Gary Harris is the most likely. And if we're being honest here, Gary Harris is probably the guy I like the most, just because of what he brings defensively for the Lakers. You still have a bunch of other guys who could be bought out, but in today's video, I wanted to focus on those three players specifically. I'll make more videos on more buyout candidates until the time is over. But basketball is back, man. Basketball is back tonight, and it feels good. So hopefully the Lakers just completely change things up in the second half. Hopefully Frank Vogel makes the proper adjustments, and you just see the Lakers at least get to that 6th seed, man. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit that sub button for daily Lakers content. Drop some comments down below. If you want any of those three players in the buyout market, or if you have someone you're thinking of, go ahead, drop them down below. Peace.